All right, they're getting serious about the racing here. It's sailboats as far as you can see. Boat came from Texas, but we're from Alaska. Good luck tonight. Woo!
The outside anchorage is over 20 feet deep in spots and very bouncy due to the heavy traffic and exposure to the bay. We arrived in Annapolis with every intention to continue north to Baltimore, where we would be picking up Liberty, but the weather wasn't cooperating, so we arranged to get her from here. As boater-friendly as Annapolis seems, it does not have any grocery or marine stores close to its anchorages.
Is that dingy dock right there in front of us?
Yeah. Since we were a large group, we opted to dinghy up Back Creek and walk the 2 miles to the nearest grocery store. There are several marine stores about a half a mile further.
We got caught in the rain.
With our pants down and the boat open.
Yeah, we left the boat open, guys. We're gonna go home and see how wet it is inside. We have been closing it up like clockwork. But today we were like, no, it's not gonna rain. It wasn't forecast, nothing. That's what you get. Water. Water everywhere. I've ruined a notebook. That whole notebook is toast. Well, this one was almost used up. Shoot. This cushion. This cushion is soaked. How's the bed?
I don't feel any water. There's a little bit on your thing here. I can't even hardly find the
Well, like I said, the cushions in the cockpit aren't wet. It's just weird. It obviously did not rain as much here as it did where we were, because there would just be more water. All right, we are waiting to go through the bridge, and we're in this little turning basin in front of Squaw Creek Bridge. Pretty tight. Looks like they just got all the way up, and there's a sailboat and another boat coming through first. It's a very narrow opening. It's our turn. This is sketchy tight. It's 40 feet wide. We're only 13, but it sure feels smaller than that. All right, get in here and get anchored before this angry storm arrives.
It's getting to be that time of year where you can kind of see the mists on the water. Morning.
Annapolis is known for the high tides that flood this downtown area. This isn't actually too bad. Sometimes it covers the roads and parking lots.
And there's ducks on the boats. It's deep.
Yep.
Liberty is wearing shoes. Tennis shoes. So we'll go over here and pick her up so that she doesn't get wet. Would you like a ride?
Liberty spent the summer with her adult sisters in Alaska, where she played the part of a maiden in Pirates of Penzance, learned how to drive, and spent the long days camping and playing with cousins.
There is Spoondrifter. And Liberty. And like Crabbing Point. It's where a bunch of locals come over here, stick sticks in the water with strings and chicken legs attached to them, and they catch crabs.
Both Denali and us are happy to have Liberty back on the boat. We have missed her. Suddenly becoming an only child is weird for both Liberty and us. Not having a built-in playmate and confidant is hard.
This looks like a little harder to get down. Kind of natural steps because of the roots. And a tree to hang on to. Look, it's Spoondrifter again. Ooh, did you see that fish jump? Come on, Denali. Careful. She's pulling you down.
We're figuring things out, and that includes things like spending time online with friends and cousins and finding ways to have her visit with adult siblings or have them come to us.
All right, I want to talk about one of the most useful tools I have found on a boat, and it is this Milwaukee M12 size cordless die grinder. This thing is incredible, and on a boat, you have to have a tool that has many uses. This one has many, many uses. Let me just show you a few of the things that you can do with this sucker. I have right now a special sanding pad. It just unscrews, and you can put sanding pads on. You can put little Scotch-Brite pads on. They just thread in like that. Changes that fast. And now I can go into polishing things up. Those little pads, you can get those in different sizes. I can get a big one. I can get a skinny one. You can get paint strippers for it. Sanding pads with Velcro on them. These little drum type sanders. So all of these are just a 1/4-inch shank. Little shaping grinder deals for grinding and shaping round balls, etc. Buffing pads for buffing things out if you want to do that. Another style of buffing pad. I probably use this 3 times a week, just in my normal stuff, 3-4 times a week. It has 4 speeds on it. It also has a handy little indicator down here. It tells you how full the battery is. So I highly recommend it. I think it's a tool everybody should have. If you end up with one of these and you get some of these accessories, trust me, you will not regret it.
What are you doing? Making some food for you?
I am making breakfast while making lunch. PB&J and an apple.
Yum. So where are you headed this morning?
Work. That's that 4-letter word that we're not allowed to say out loud in public because it's offensive. Yeah, setting up the boat show is going to be amazing. Today is the start of the big day. It's going to start looking like a boat show after today, I think. Working for the Annapolis Boatshow was an eye-opening experience. Being part of the team that put the show together was a lot of fun.
So a dual amphibious land cruiser.
That is way freaking cool right there. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Woo.
That's
It takes about 2.5 months to prep, man, and tear down the power and sailboat shows. Subcontractors build platforms over flooded areas and put up all of the tents and the finished materials. The show requires several hundred floating docks to be pushed into place and pinned together by the water crew. The boat show hires over 150 people. Most of them are cruisers, many who return to work the show year after year. They're divided into teams: the water crew, the land crew, the electrical crew. They have a move-in and move-out team, and the ticket staff. Many people work on multiple crews throughout this entire process. All right, got more work at the boat show, so I'm headed in at dark 30. Do some emergency carpentry stuff, last minute stuff. Show opens this morning at 10. The majority of the work that I did the show was carpentry related. Things like repairing docks, building many of the different items that were required, as well as running around during the shows solving problems. Logistically, the show was so large and spread out that often we had to use golf carts to get around quickly and deliver supplies as needed. In the sailing community, we make friends fast, and this experience was no different. The people I worked with made each day fun and kept me looking forward to returning to work the next day. This is what Dyneema rigging does in the very, very cold. That is very loose. Look at that. It's time to tighten that stuff up. Woo! For each show, the water crew builds the docks around the boats, which means that between the two shows, everything gets taken apart and reconfigured so the second show can take place. They pull this off in only 3 days.
Hello.
Hello.
This was the first time Todd or I had attended the Annapolis boat shows. While I had seen pictures and videos online, attending is a whole experience not to be missed. During the sailboat show, Todd and I were able to participate in the Content Creators YouTube booth. We ran into many of you during our time at the booth and while wandering through the show. There was so much to see at this show, and we were able to purchase a few needed items and add a lot more to our wish list. The energy at the show was amazing. Sailors coming from all over to learn more about their passions and share stories with one another makes it a unique experience. The friends and memories we made in our anchorage during the 2.5 months we spent here will be treasured forever. This has been a very protected anchorage. And all of the boats from the boat show are gone. So we're have the space to ourselves again, not crowded. Just got our one friend Olive Juice back there still. It's time to tidy up this boat. One of our boat neighbors needed water because they didn't have a water maker. They borrowed these, and Todd just got them back and threw them on the boat. Yeah, all the things that are out after a week of doing the boat show and no boat chores.
So is this how it's done? This is how the haircut stuff is accomplished. Woohoo!
Gonna set up shop everywhere you go.
All right, I'm off to do the laundry. And vice versa, I mean, off to do the laundry.
Is there laundry under that garbage?
Yes, there is. And take the garbage away. A little colder this morning. They are sailing into Eagle Alley with a spinnaker. This is how crazy they are around here with sailing. I worked until nearly November helping to put the show to bed. Once the docks were stored and everything was cleaned up, it was time to get our boat ready and start moving south for the winter. So we have a confession to make. This trip we're doing today really is only like 5 miles.
No, 3.8.
3.8 miles, even worse. Gonna take us over an hour. Right now we're pulling 53 amps out of the batteries, the motor batteries, and we're putting 75 into them with the generator, so that's a total of 125 amps, and we're going 3.2 knots of speed. And this is our fault, because we've been sitting in Spa Creek for 2 months and have not cleaned the boat. So I cleaned the prop today. That's all I had time for, which was pretty bad. Had some barnacles on it and a lot of the soft growth, thick soft growth, but there's also a lot of thick growth everywhere. But the boat doesn't want to move through the water right now. It needs some grease or something to slip through.
Jungle.
It's a floating jungle.
30 minutes.
Holy
till we
crap,
get where
30
we're
minutes we gotta get to get where we're going. But we're just moving from Spa Creek around to Lake Ogleton. Try a little different anchorage and see if we like it, but we're gonna do our boat bottom over there.
What is it, dear?
Okay, I got something for you.
Holy moly, is that on the bottom of the boat?
Yes. That is carpeting.
That is what we had in Norfolk. Yeah, and it's just continued to grow, huh?
Can you show me? Can you show me?
So that's on the bottom? Yeah. Crazy.
That's pretty cool looking though.
Right?
Here, don't touch it. It's not gonna hurt you.
It's just soft, isn't it, Coral? We've got Todd doing the top edge, and Tim's over there, his bubbles, he's doing the deeper part.
Sorry, you talking to me?
Just wondering how it's going.
You saw what was coming off the bottom.
Yeah,
I think
crazy.
that was that crap that was growing in Norfolk.
Yeah,
Pustule things?
yeah.
Yeah. That's what they turn into, I think.
That's
Put
like,
it in the comments if you agree or disagree.
but the sides are okay?
Yeah, where I cleaned it down in Norfolk, where I cleaned it like 3 feet deep, is fine. But it's that bottom part that I didn't think was effective because I didn't seem like they were that far down, but apparently they were.
So it's the whole bottom?
Yeah, it's like carpet.
Wow.
That's why we weren't moving very fast.